All right, killers and villains, what's happening? It's JuneXas here in the house, me, Texas Hardcore, and the one and only Juno 2000. And so tonight we bring you Swingin' Safari. It's a comedy from, well, it says 2018, but it didn't come out here in the USA till 2019 with Guy Pearce, Kylie Minogue, Rhoda Mitchell, and that whatever his name is, Julian, whatever the fuck from Nip and Tuck or Sip and Suck, whatever. I've never watched that show. I thought it was garbage. It doesn't matter, but if you were fans of it, sorry to burst your bubble on that one. Now that's a knife. Oh wait, wrong movie. But yeah, hope everybody's doing all right. I'm feeling okay. Almost canceled tonight, but I just decided to hell with it. That since I had it scheduled, I'd go ahead and get it going and all that. I love how everybody's got the numbers by their names and all that stuff, and but yeah. So I'll go ahead and do the roll call, and of course we have Chester Franklin, we have Zodiac in the house, we've got Ashton's in the house, Rosalia's in the house, Alan's in the house, 71 is in the house, and it looks like Anthony is also in the house. Thanks for stopping in, Anthony. He says something here to the effect that he says, how you guys doing? He's having a hard time because his boss is on medical leave, but he doesn't know next week if it's going to happen. Well, and he's up to 2014 in his memoirs, so there we go. So hopefully you'll be up to 2015 next week. And then JuneXas has arrived, so when the ladies are here, it's always time to fear. So that's good stuff. So anyway, we're gonna start off with this little thing here.
There comes a time in every man's life. Bucko, just take him. You know to put him on, right? So I'm going to take you to the bathroom. I can show you.
What the hell happened in the 1970s? Let's go back and meet three rudderless families. The Joneses were the big kahunas on the block.
Somebody's going to get hurt and it's not going to be me.
The Hall House was a disaster movie in the making.
Welcome to the club, men. It's the way.
My family was stuck right in the middle of the cul-de-sac.
Dad!
Oh, g'day, Mr. Marsh.
I was armed with a Super 8 camera.
What you got there, love? Look at that.
No cameras tonight?
I captured everything
Oh, I think I'm gonna hurl.
in the hope I could edit together
The next game is called Swinging Safari.
I'm here.
what was going through our poor, misguided heads.
Why were they doing that to each other?
I don't know. We just go to school like normal.
Surprise! The pill, sweetheart. Your father and I think it's time.
And what are we playing? Poker. Everybody else has.
Cork it, bush pig.
Shut up, hussy.
Alcoholic bottle blonde.
Cock tease.
Our parents did the best they could with the bent tools they were handed.
Looks like you might have found yourself a plot, Tiger.
You're all going to Catholic boarding schools. The priests will have their way with you.
So yeah,
there's that. I forgot that it was directed by the director of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, which is actually a really good movie with Terrence Stamp. You know, because we all love Terrence Stamp, you know, around here. And whatnot. But how was your day, Juno?
It's all fine.
That's good. My day was like this. Happy birthday, bitch. You know, that's what everybody should say when they, you know, shoot somebody in the head. Happy birthday, bitch. Damp Tramp, Terrence Tramp Stamp. Yep. Terrence Tramp Darby. Or Terrence Tramp Arby's. Camp Tramp. Yeah. That's what they should have called the camp instead of Camp Crystal Lake, you know. Camp Tramp and Camp Crystal Light. Bunch of bastards, you know. And we don't even have Ginger Ninja here yet, you know. Because, you know, I've been waiting for him for the past, you know, I don't know, year and a half, almost, yeah, year and a half to make me a promo that says, I'll blow your goddamn head off, you know, so anyway. Oh, don't ask me where Jimbo Jack is. You know where he's at. No. Actually, last night I thought he was just passed out, but he's been cleaning up that fucking house, and that's probably where he is again tonight. The adventure continues, you know. Oh, thanks, Chester. Well, you know, it's nothing. I mean, if I could perform surgery on myself, I would do that. But unfortunately, I don't have the tools or the wherewithal to slice myself open and figure this shit out. You know, I'm not good at anatomy. You know, anatomy. Yeah, that's what she said. Anyway. But you know, it's too bad that that operation game, you know, isn't a real operation game, you know, where you could murder your neighbor, you know, or whatever. Yeah, just get an knitting, you know. Well, I did go to the doctors yesterday, 71. Turns out I probably have a kidney stone, but I gotta pay an exorbitant amount of money to get a CT scan, which is like, thank you, you know, even though like at my you know, insurance, I mean that's what my insurance covers, this non-exorbitant amount that I'm supposed to pay. So yeah. But you know, while I'm at it, you know, I'll just show this lovely bottle of hot sauce. There we go. Other than that, yeah, I don't hear a tap, 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 tap. I don't hear it on my end, and I don't hear it on Juno's end. I mean, because there ain't no clown with a violin talking about making a whole fucking bunch of noise because I'm tired of a smoke alarm, all this other kind of bullshit. We're not gonna have that tonight. We're not gonna, you know, have any of that shit. So if you guys hear a tap, it's not my fault. It's not Juno's fault. It's just you tapping your fingers on whatever.
So that's all it is, you know. It's gone now. You guys are just playing pranks, is what it is, you know. I'm gonna call. You know what? Police. I want everyone in the chat arrested. Thank you. Bye. There we go. How's that? How's that set you? It's spirits in Juno's house. That's according to 71. You got spirits in there, Juno?
Yep.
Yes, you do. Well, see, now I can hear.
Yeah.
I can hear something in your background though. Like you're watching one of those telenovelas again. Is that it?
No, it's Hector.
It's what?
It's Hector, the spirit calling.
Hector the spirit. Anyway. All right. Well, yeah, I want to kind of start this, you know, a bit early, so you guys, you know, get settled. And Chester, this is on Amazon Prime, so you can watch it for free. And there's also, you know, the Look movie, Dink a Link at the top, you know, Skin 'em a Rink, a Sink, you know, all that good shit. 71 says, I wish I had some spirits in my house that I could drink. Or, well, yeah, I mean, I was going to get to that too. But, you know, Juno doesn't drink, so it wouldn't have been those kind of spirits. Although I would like to see Juno juggle a few bottles sometime. Something like that.
And dance to ICP music.
The what?
Dance to ICP music because I'm a
Dance to
juggalo.
ICP music. There you go.
I'm
I
a
always
fucking
like that.
juggalo.
I always like that one song they had, like "Fuck the World" and stuff, and where he says "Fuck Rocky Maivia." That's pretty funny. Gummies, bummies, all that good stuff. Gummies and a cheese platter. Yeah. Yeah, I got too many things, you know, that are reminders of the old days that we need to get rid of. But there is this one.
I should team with Jet Li to kick some motherfucking ass. Some motherfucking ass. Some motherfucking ass. Some motherfucking ass. Some motherfucking ass.
But yeah, I'm going to cut that short just in case there's a logo that we don't want to see and all that other kind of shit, you know. And Dirk is in the house. Subjective Perspective Collective.
Hey, Dirk.
And in case you guys didn't see it, this past Sunday, he and Darren had an awesome Police Techie, or Police Teshti, or Suzanne Tedeschi, or whatever the fuck. No, actually, the Police Techie, the Italian police action films. They did a deep dive into the Years of Lead box. Well, just the first, well, 3 films out of it. It was great. So hopefully, you know, they are going to continue that stuff. I'm still trying to get my vote in to get the British Arn Anderson, Stephen Thrower on the show. So I hope that happens. That would be absolutely fucking killer. Man, I can't even show the sketty wig still because, you know, got, you know, oh fuck. I got to go through all this stuff and figure it out, which has the, you know. But as always, just so as long as you guys don't bring your dogs or cats into this. I have to make this disclaimer.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to achieve an R rating today, a motion picture must contain full frontal nudity, graphic violence, or an explicit reference to the sex act. Since this film has none of those, and since research has proven that R-rated films are by far the most popular with the movie-going public, the producers of this motion picture have asked me to take this opportunity to say, fuck you.
Well, this actually does have references to various sex acts, and it is rated R, and that's just the way it goes. So if your grandma can't handle it, just throw her a life preserver or something. I would appreciate that, Dirk, because that would be awesome. And please, by all means, promote this coming Sunday's show with the Italian man's name that I can't pronounce. I don't want to butcher his name, but yeah, everybody support Darren's channel and everything. Hey Juno, can you throw in Dirk's link there for anybody that's not subscribed?
I think I'll try.
Okay, if you can't, Z might be able to hit that too. No, no, Alan, it's not Johnny Fettuccine this week, but Eugenio Arcolani. Well, that's easy. Thank you, Z. I appreciate it and stuff. So yeah, if everybody's about ready, we'll get this on the road and get this started. And promise, you guys will have a fun time, and well, we always do, regardless, and all that. We can hold down the violins for a while if we want, or neither. Shrinky links, that's correct. Oh, of course, Dirk. I mean, you're one of the few, great channels out there. There's, I'll name drop a few. There's the Hatchet Boys. There's Larry the Hardcat Dad. Don with his, night owl talk, and stuff, and Pops, and Gizmo, of course, all those guys, Jim's channel, and they're then of course, I won't name any of the specifically bad channels, but we all know who that is. Hey Nikki, well, I wish I was doing well, but but I've already discussed that, so I'm not going to discuss that for the rest of the evening and all that kind of stuff. But it's good to see you, and thank you for coming by. I'm always accused of not sharing things out, and oh geez, anyway. That's exactly right, Dirk.
All right. Well, if hopefully most of you are ready, I'm gonna go ahead and give a 10 count so we can get the movie started. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, cuatro, dos. Or I said cuatro dos. Well, I went cuatro tres dos. So you get an extra second. Uno. Press play, senors, senoritas, pendejos and pendejas, and bitches. Same thing, all that good stuff. Well, Zodiac, you'll be pleased to know that 2 weeks ago, said sad person showed up in Dirk and Darren's and was gone like that. So that helped, So I figured, this was a decent summer film to show since, it's the summer of hate, according to, well, we're not going to go into that, but anyway. I actually think this would have been actually kind of killer to live in Australia in some kind of like suburb like this, and stuff. Just so, watch, everybody go crazy and stuff. And then you got this kid dressed like Evil Knievel. You wouldn't even think that like Australians would know who that is. What do I know? I always used to like to ride bikes in the swimming pools and stuff, Out of there, exactly right. Exactly, Chester. So for that, Chester, salute. So yeah, also, hopefully Todd Christian will see this, later. He always has good comments, about the things we show and stuff. And I'm sorry sometimes I don't reply a lot. I need to get better at that. Supposedly I need to get better at a lot of stuff. But I'm not paid for that. And that's and you know no one's my boss except for myself. Except Juno can boss me around sometimes. Well, and bosses me around a lot too. Other than that.
The Joneses were the big kahunas on the block. The biggest house, the biggest car, and the biggest hair. Rick sold drugs, groundbreaking drugs, like tanning tablets and Valium. Drugs that made their way straight into the gob of his wife.
He really didn't have to move too far from nip and tuck, you know. He was selling drugs and then, instead of doing plastic surgery.
She chose to.
So you should.
Joe knew the world was changing, and she didn't want to miss
I love that guy's toupee. That's pretty funny.
If I had to pick a superpower, to fly or be invisible, which would it be? The first great love of my life, Melissa Jones, chose invisibility. She was the lost girl, but only I could see. Our fates were sealed by a secret so terrible nobody dared talk about it. We were the first generation to wear fully synthetic fabrics. We were also the last.
Who started it? You started it by having your kids wear fucking stupid clothes like that.
Millie Jones picked invisibility. I, Jeff Not too hot, not too cold. My family was stuck.
Well, yeah, Crouton does try to boss me around. She bosses you around, though, the most.
Loved playing the organ. He worked for a successful American gadget importer.
John Carpenter's umpires. I think I remember seeing that one.
Needless to say, there were no surprises on Christmas Day. Mark 2.
God, I remember, like, you know, I'm sure everybody had a Christmas where you got one of the most ridiculous, insane presents, you know, that like was like for the rest of your life, you know. Well, I mean, luckily you probably still don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was 9, my grandmother, you know, I was going through all my presents. I thought I was done, and everybody was like, "Oh, you have one more." So I go over and I open this present, and I thought it was just a fucking suitcase. I go, "Oh, great, suitcase, thanks," you know, whatever. So then I go back to doing whatever I'm doing, and they're going, "No, open it." My grandmother had bought me a goddamn accordion.
Accordion?
I'm serious. What?
Accordion?
Yeah, an accordion. Now, I've never ever played an accordion. Why the fuck would I want an accordion? And I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I'm just saying I'm a 9-year-old kid. You imagine, you know, like a kid that's going to play a fucking accordion. That means you get vegetables thrown at you, eggs thrown at you, all sorts of shit. I wasn't going to do that shit. You know, just because she could play the shit didn't mean I could. And, you know, I think I had that thing for like years that just sat there. And then finally, like, I think we sold it at a garage sale or something. Got a lemon tree. No balloon treatment. I had the balloon treatment in an operation a couple of years ago, and that was not fun.
You didn't like the balloon in your nose?
I'm not going to discuss, you know, my operation from 2023.
Oh, shit.
I'll tell you later. I'm not going to discuss it.
Yeah,
On this.
yeah. We'll discuss it later.
What was my favorite gift? Oh wow. Um, hmm. I think, well, like when I was a little kid, the big, like the big rage. It was always records. If I got, like records, I was always happy. As long as they were like records I wanted. Uh, but I guess when I was about probably 8, I think, the big Jim action figure was always the rage, and so I got this thing called a rescue rig with I think I never got Jim, I got Josh instead, but it didn't really matter. But that was kind of a cool toy, to have at the time. But oh yeah, and then Hugo, Man with a Thousand Faces, that was cool because it was like this hand puppet thing, and you had this glue stick, and you could fucking put all these goofy things on him, like a fake beard and like a swollen eye, all sorts of cool shit like that. Those things go for like big bucks now. Stop being a water Nazi. There we go. But yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Oh yeah, this is awesome. So she's freaking out as they pull the surfboard off her, and she's got the colonel like tattooed on her chest because it's basically sunburned on her stomach. But that's one of the like I would just, oh man, I'd be horrified as a kid if anybody got something sunburned on their stomach like that, especially the Colonel's image. That would be fucking awful. Yeah, I think I do remember Merlin, but I don't like. I had, I would always get like the electronic knockoffs, all the ones that I would ask for. I get, like these goofy ones. I remember having this one where it was just like this two-sided game, almost like a Ganip thing. It was like this thing would rush back and forth these dots, and you had to hit it real quick to like make it go the other side on your opponent's side, and then you'd win. It was really dumb, but it was what it was. So now this kid's trying to make Jaws or something, and all something like that, close enough. Girls love the accordion. Yeah, see, I wish I would have had a creepy crawler thing. I mean, I remember having like the Hot Wheels and like those kind of tracks, and then they made those ones for a while where they were like motorcycles, like with little figures on them that you could put on the Hot Wheels track. Ah, yes. This is where they find the dead great blue whale that's washed ashore. It's gonna play into this later on. I can't play any of it, and I don't even own that anyway. It's not fucking on the beach. It's fucking on the beach. That's one of the best lines, you know. No, he does not come out of the way. Juno, did you get a chance to watch this earlier?
I did get to see it earlier.
Okay, good. I hope you liked it.
It's decent.
Okay. Doctor Strange. Big guy runs off once the siren hits. It's so fucked up. Everybody should be able to embarrass somebody at least twice in a row. Juno, are you okay back there? Since it's so dark back there.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay, I'm just making sure that people don't think you're dead back there.
No, I just kind of rest. I'm just watching it. Right. I'm just watching it head down a little bit. Just not feeling that well either.
It's 1 o'clock. I remember those weird record things. I never had one. I figured they might go like, you hit the wrong speed and all your albums go flying across the room and stuff. We got Sailor George. What's happening, Sailor George?
Hey, George.
Glad you could make it. Be careful, the dog's gonna explode. Yeah, you got a ton of innuendos, in this movie, so you gotta be careful, and stuff. Okay, so who like in their family always hated eating at the kids' table? Hey, Shamarlos.
Hey, Scott.
Shamarlos had
And Race.
fish. And
Fish.
And cookies. Fish and cookies.
Mm-hmm.
I had Taco Bell. I made a race to the border. Yeah, I did too. I hated the kids table. Go ahead, Juno.
Well, mate, I have hamburgers and some fucking fries. That was my dinner earlier. But I also raised my hand, like saying that I hate kids at the cake table. Felt kind of stupid.
Yeah, usually though, Rosie, they they don't, it wasn't anything important. It's usually just like gossip or, or some kind of, arguments or something. Thank goodness, like most of my family when I was a kid, I mean, they weren't really, well, I guess you could say they were drinkers, but they weren't drinkers around, holidays. So then, like, there wouldn't be any kind of, downright fights, people cracking plates over each other's heads, or trying to stab each other with butter knives, and stuff. No more shenanigans because, well, yeah, there's plenty of shenanigans there. The adults are the ones planning the real shenanigans. I wouldn't. Oh man, I can't even do that sort of stuff. That would always kind of freak me out, like crawdads and stuff. Yeah, that you're right, Zodiac. Butter knives out. You got to watch the movie Deep Throat. It's about a dentist. Death Cheaters on Fire.
Man, I wish I could have made movies like this kid, you know. Juno, you got to make movies like this kid, but better, of course.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, he was guilty on two counts of some shit, you know. But I mean, you know, money pays everybody off and all that.
I heard that son of a bitch got out. I heard that about that earlier. Well, he's still a piece of shit.
Of course, you know.
He's a piece of shit like Danny Masterson and Victor Salva. And
Yeah, Dan
badass
Masterson.
Harvey Weinstein.
One of the idiots. But then what do you expect from a fucking Scientologist?
That's why I say fuck Lincoln Park, because they support that bullshit.
So no water and the fucking, you know, the parents don't, you know, they don't even give a fuck about, like, well, they don't even know what's going on, you know.
Well, because of the piece of shit being free, he probably wants more dicks. Yeah, it's pretty much not surprised because all those piece of shit got away with it because those cocksuckers are fucking filthy rich.
Right.
And they also bought people out, even fucking juries and judges, because people have done that shit in the past to bribe their ass out of jail.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree, it's bullshit. It's just part of it's also fucking bribery too, because they fucking bribe them to save their sorry asses to go to jail. But still, fuck P. Diddy shit.
well, it's like I told you guys one time. There was a whole deal a long time ago that Clark Gable was drunk driving out of, you know, whatever fucking studio he was working for, and he killed some fucker, and then they paid some dude, you know, like
probably like 10 grand at the time, which was, a hell of a lot more money back then than it is now, to go to prison for him and shit. Well, Diddy did the same thing. He set up that one guy when he was, with J Blow, and, had that party, and he winds up shooting some fucking guy and then had his buddy go to prison for him for a while.
Fucking disgusting piece of shit. He was probably fucking everybody.
Tom Brady. Guy's a moron.
I don't like Tom Brady. He's a jackass.
I think the kids in this movie actually have better fun than the parents, Got the one sister who's kind of a whore. But anyway, what?
But yeah, it kind of pisses me off that there's people that fucking did time and they were not even horrible shit. Like Wesley Snipes did fucking time for tax evasion compared to these piece of shits that did fucking awful shit. Get like
Well,
less time.
That's how they caught Capone. Was tax evasion. They couldn't get him on anything else.
Yeah. But at least Wesley Snipes, he admitted what the fuck he did was wrong, and he had to serve time for it. Compared to these piece of shits that gets away with it, like fucking piece of shit Diddy, who's a fucking child molesting piece of shit.
Aaron Fernandez. Yeah, that's another one.
Are you talking about the football player?
Yeah.
They're like, fuck Victor Salvo, fuck Danny Masterson, and fuck P. Diddy.
Fuck Kirk Douglas, too.
Yeah, him too. And fuck Chevy Chase too.
Fuck everybody. How about that? Rosie, they're playing Freddie Fender. Remember those days, when we were kids and we went to a Mexican prison? Oh, wait, that wasn't you. Never mind.
How was that experience, Texas?
The what?
How was that experience?
Well, it was good because I had enchiladas and everything all day. Oh, here's like one of the sex parts, guys. You got to close your eyes on this and stuff. She looks bored out of her fucking mind. I mean, these poor kids.
Yeah, like she's so boring. Like she's boring.
And then she, it looks like she just has to keep drinking and stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, oh yeah, he's tripping out. This is wrong. Poor dog had a front row seat, you know. I'll give you 2 ticks if you don't stop plucking my wife. Yeah, Freddie got fendered. Exactly right.
And also, they say the same thing, like that Aaron Hernandez thing. They think it's compared to like how like the Ben Wall situation, which I know that was fucked up too. The thing, the Chris Benoit thing, that tragedy that happened with him and his family, like it sucks and it fucking is disturbing what the fuck happened, but he was pretty much fucked in the head from CTE.
Yeah.
The only thing that pisses me off is that they want to erase him from everything that he done, which I think is fucking bullshit. Because I think people should fucking know, even if kids want to know what the fuck he's doing, they should know what mental health is and what you have to deal with your brain. Like, just have that more to it. Like, know to be precautious about your brain and stuff, and be careful with your health. Like that's educational. Like, it's just, I just don't like that he gets like snug from everything. Like they don't accomplish his WrestleMania win. It's just, I think that's fucking bullshit and dirty.
Poor. Well, you know, it's like rotting and they're thinking it's like still alive or some shit. I don't know.
Marilyn Manson, that's another piece of shit. How? Granted, I do like some of his music from the past, but I think he's a scumbag. No. His version of that Phil Collins song that you just mentioned a couple months ago, Texas, that version sucked ass. That he sang.
I wouldn't know. I didn't bother to listen to it.
Because I saw like my YouTube music recommended, and I clicked it, and I heard what the hell he sounded. Sounded like ass.
It's not shoot spitballs.
Hell, I think Jimmy Snuka's more of a piece of shit than Chris Benoit.
A kid's eating paste.
Yeah, they always have to have the kid eating the paste. Is that always like not safe to eat that shit?
Oh, it's probably safe. They just, nutbag kids, that would eat that stuff.
Yep.
Can I have that? It's got sand on it. They're called sandwiches. Death cheaters versus teachers. There we go. That's what the Death Riders should be called. Death cheaters.
Chicken shits.
That's awesome. Cutting the teacher's head
The
off
chicken.
and stuff.
Death cheaters.
And that kid was gonna put a live mouse in his mouth. Jesus Christ.
Holy shit, dude.
I'm not gonna buy any of the VS stuff. I'll see what comes out, but the fact that those cocksuckers put out Mac and Me, really? Fuck
that
shit.
movie. I agree, Texas. Fuck that movie up its monkey shit ass.
I mean, that's to me, that's their fucking lowest of the low, you know.
Because you told me yesterday that there was a fucking Carrie 2, and I finally got to see the rest of it. And then when I saw Mac and Me 2, I was like, what the actual fuck? That piece of shit is getting a 4K.
Shit, I'd buy that Carrie 2 before I'd fucking buy, Cracking Me.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Mac and Me's worse, man. Like, that looks fucking ridiculous because, like, what next? They're going to do fucking munchies and
That's just
the garbage pail kits.
It's just a fucking commercial for McDonald's for an hour and a half or however the fuck long it is. And then just like Armageddon's just a fucking 2-hour music video. Fucking what a
horse
joke.
shit. It's 2 hours of horse ass.
Mac and
horse
cheese.
piss. As in mac and shit.
Telling his own daughter to play in the traffic. Oh, look at that. Karen Carpenter, my new wonder, died. I never noticed that one before, and stuff. Poor kid trying to cast his movie and nobody's there. Oh, those fucking geniuses.
Paying $50 for a fucking mac and me. Poor shit.
Had to prime off with a tire iron.
Like, Mac and Me, fuck that movie. Like, that's like if Creepshow 3, the real Creepshow 3 got a fucking 4K. Like, that's how bad that fucking Mac and Me is.
Well, supposedly, though, at least they made that like a limited thing, and it.
But $50 for that? Like, I ain't gonna pay that shit.
Dirk says, not name dropping, but a few we know are definitely buying that bullshit. I can imagine who it is.
I know. I know one person that fucking hates Ray Dennis Stegler. That son of a bitch is gonna get it.
If he actually bought that, then he's more fucked up than I thought he was. But somebody already posted that they were happy that it came out, and I'm like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me.
Anticipated for poop.
And you sometimes wonder if Jesus has passed you by and then they slam the door on him. Well, yes, he certainly has. He's done that right now. Cracker night. I've been to plenty of those. It's actually the wrong cracker night, though. Poor woman trying to kill her kid's, dog. Liam is now called Lenore, and the other guy's in jail.
No.
Trouser, and they call it the snake. I had a dog like that when I was a little kid. Jump on the table and start eating everybody's fucking food.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. And they use that Kentucky Fried Chicken surfboard for like a tombstone. They got a whale for a fucking weather vane. Jesus, that dog was huge. It takes 3 people to carry it.
Big ol' SOB.
Sausages in a Grave, great name for an album.
Big son of a bitch. Dog. You ever see those big sons of bitch dogs?
What?
You ever seen those big son of a bitch dogs in back in the day, Texas?
Yeah, I mean,
And that,
when I was a kid, we had like a boxer and we had to get rid of it because like it's probably 4 or 5 and that fucking thing would like jump me and knock me down and all sorts of crazy shit.
but I was at a library
Go
a
ahead.
couple months ago. I was at a library and they brought in like a couple of dogs for like this show and tell, and they had this fucking big Dane, which was a big old bastard, like towering over people. Like holy shit! Like those are big sons of bitches.
Gizmo's
But
here
the
and he
good,
tells you to get. He's telling you to get into the light.
I'd rather go into life than join with Venner VS and their Mac and Me shit. But what's up, Gizmo? Hopefully you're doing good, man. See, there's the light. I got the light, Texas.
There we go.
But yeah, Mac and Me is gonna be one of the #1 sellers.
I don't see how, like, I mean, there's good, like stuff back from that time, but I just don't see how that, is anything meaningful. Oh yeah, I forgot this movie's got a small part of it with Jacob Elordi from Euphoria and a bunch of other bullshit because I guess he's like the huge Australian hunk now and all that.
I want to check out that Long Walk movie.
The which one?
The Long Walk.
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
It does. It does. Gizmo. And it, at least it ain't a 12-line pussy. You want to hit the G spot on a 12-line pussy.
Wait, fucking Gizmo says it looks like you have a vagina behind you. I don't understand, you know.
Ain't no 12-line pussy on the G spot. You couldn't hit a G spot on the 12-line pussy. And motherfucker, you don't eat fast food. And there's another thing about Vinegar Syndrome. I kind of think they're fucking shitty too. But I could talk about that after the stream.
Yeah, he says he regrets not subbing this year to Vinegar. Already used close to the submission for us. But yeah, the only good thing is you get a good return selling all that stuff.
Well, Chester, the fucking stream got copyrighted for some stupid fucking reason.
What?
Because Chester was talking about the stream yesterday. Stupid ass YouTube.
Weird. Well, you can always just cut out whatever, the thing was.
It wasn't like they said it was like the full movie. I'm like, what the fuck? The full movie?
But you didn't even show it.
Unless, I don't know, maybe it was the clips that I showed at the end, but it wasn't that shit. And I was trying to see like what, because you know that tool is like to delete clips or something, like trim it and stuff. because I'm on YouTube
Right.
Studios, and I was trying to do that, and that fucking shit's like was it not I'm not able to do that.
Well,
It just says it's blocked. That's it. Like it's not
that's
letting me fucking
strange.
trim the segments. So I'm like, yeah. So that's what
Well, but
happened
you
to the
know,
stream.
I mean, well, I did notice though your volume was coming through a lot, and that could be it.
Yeah.
That's why I try to keep everything as low as possible because they'll fucking nab you on that shit. But you know,
Fucking
double
cocksucker
check it
YouTube.
again though, and just see what's going on. You know, and see
I
what you
did. I
can
did
do.
check it. I already did check it. I looked through it. It was probably because of that bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know.
But in the first place, YouTube should not be doing this shit. It's fucking ridiculous. Because remember, you said that happened to Dirk's channel one time when they were doing a stream.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking ridiculous that YouTube's doing this stupid shit.
We got Corey from Corey's Movies and Music in the house. Good to see you. Glad you stopped in.
Hey, Corey.
Hope everything's all good.
It's just, yeah. Yeah, those conformist asshole YouTubes blocked my fucking stream yesterday. So. Yeah, that's what happened to the stream, Chester, if you're asking about that.
That poor little girl getting like pissed on by her mom so bad. Oh, it's her daughter. Like how they've all become like psychotic. I mean, like Gizmo, there are some good titles, but still, for the most part, there's just a lot of trash. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, a lot of the titles not that good.
I don't need a goose. Oh.
They're gonna leave the hellhole.
This whole mess up, so it's up to us to sort it out.
They're going to free Tommy into the ocean. She's 14 years old. This is what happens when you look at what science. Is it over? Over? God, she's got that fucking phobia about people having their feet on the carpet, you know? It's like, the hell? That's a good shot, Gino, of that umbrella, like in her, and the sunglasses, you know. Or that poor kid getting impaled. Yeah, it just seems that's all they do. Gizmos re-release like stuff. But
It was Shit Factory.
yeah, well
Like
them
that
too.
company's that company's pile of shit now.
I don't even pay attention to like half the stuff they even release.
Because they're pretty much just owned by corporate assholes that don't even know what the fuck they're even doing. They're like TKO. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Those kids are so excited, you know. Letting their kids drink booze and they can't even stand it, you know. So taking the dog to let it live on a farm, you know. What the fuck? I haven't seen anything about the sale yet, Gizmo, but I'll let you know as soon as I see it. Can take you to the bathroom and show you how to put them on. Like, oh my God. It's like they think the kid should be rewarded, yet they're trying to turn them into themselves. It's like so ridiculous. Timestamp is 1:17:45 or just 1:18. Okay, Dirk, thanks. I didn't look at their site today, so it must have been because I remember looking yesterday, but then I also didn't scroll to the usual thing, so down at the bottom. No problem, Alan. Yeah, I'll double check. I hadn't heard this like Charlie Rich song in forever, and you know the one thing is he's still dead. So there we go.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy?
Oh, they're gonna throw me a minute and 10-second ad in this.
Mm-hmm.
Juno, do you own a pair of Crocs?
I have one that I go outside with.
What? Oh no, I'm just kidding. They probably would actually
I
be
got mine at
comfortable for me, but
I got mine at dollar store.
oh, okay. I don't know.
At least it's cheaper than paying $5 for it. At least I got it for $1 or $2.
$1 million, yeah, paying like $100 for a big old pair of shoes. Okay,
I'm not really
Rosie
big.
says she has
I'm not really. I'm not really big on the design, but
right.
for a while, when I tried it for a couple of days, I started getting used to it, and it feels comfortable.
Well, there's only a few people I would trust to say that they were good shoes, so okay. I'm sold, but it doesn't mean I'd buy any, but still. Okay, so here we go to the big shebang, so to speak. It's your last warning. This is a blast zone.
Going downtown. When you're sad, you go downtown.
Make sure you get rid of it. Double it.
Yep.
Fucking idiots. Looking at it at this angle, it looks like a massive mammal. It's a dead well, Mom.
Piece of a mambo's ass.
Kylie Minogue drinking all the fucking time. The big fish Christian chips. God. Crackaway camp. Yeah, that would be a good one.
You ever eat fish and chips?
Death. The what?
Fish and chips. Do you ever eat that?
Oh yeah, love fish and chips. Oh, here we go. And I think just love the whole bit where they're like that rock or whatever hit the camera, and then they're like, oh well, okay. Yeah, that's right. She finally escaped. All that blood flying and blubber flying from the fucking air.
Blubbers. Yep. All that blubber.
Served them all right.
There goes the flubber.
Guy Pearce. Oh shit! A break. Run.
There goes the flubber.
This was like the ultimate, just waiting to get to like this whole fucking point and shit, and stuff.
To the
People
ending.
slipping and falling, and even that kid with the canes trying to get the fuck out of there.
No way out, dipshit.
Oh yeah, then the shark with all the fucking blubber in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Bruce's cousin, Henry.
That little girl going nuts, picking up that knife and stabbing her. Just the fact that it's flying all over their neighborhood, just destroying shit too. There goes the boat. Sandy's tombstone. There's more blood in this than a David Gordon Green movie.
For sure. For sure. Yep. For sure.
That woman with that fucking beehive hairdo, she gets like cracked by one of those fucking pieces of blubber, you know. But then, like Melissa and the other kid are just enjoying being drenched in blood, like fucking Carrie or some shit.
They're gonna blubber you. They're gonna blubber you.
They find Tommy. Tommy was returned to YM Place where he lives, tied to a hill's voice to this day. Yeah, I think so, Dirk. I'm gonna I need to oh, I don't own any of those yet, but I want to get those, yeah. Beefle Christ tonight. David Gordon Gangrene, there we go, yeah. Yeah, that's what we should do that, Alan. We should get a giant whale and beach it for God knows how long, then blow it up. You know, I like the fact here too. At the end, they show pieces of the kids' movies and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
That homage to Night of the Living Dead, where they're like eating their white kid and stuff. Where Beevil lurks, yes, again, correct. Beevil Knievel, Beevil Dead Rise. Beevil Chlamydia Chips. It still blows my mind that they had all that KFC stuff in here and all that, you know.
Surprised that Colonel didn't promote the movie.
Well, they did, you know, make a tombstone sort of for him. Bevel the 13th, you know. Halloween 9, Chlamydia and the Bevel.
Yep.
Tonight, the top fans were Ashton Luck, number 1, Alan, number 2, Dirk, number 3, Anthony Chapatalatat, number 4, Nikki, number 5, Shamarla Scott, number 6, I'm sorry, 71 was 7, Corey was number 8, Jimbo Jack was number 9, Gizmo was 10, and 11 was, Sailor George. I want this to improve. I want Rosie and Brooke to be tied for number 1 or 1 and 2, you know. And then, you know, Zodiac, they you know, I mean, all you guys should be well, you're all number 1 in my eyes. So it doesn't matter. Juno, turn your goddamn light on, man. It's the end of the show. Everybody needs to see you. There we go. That's better.
Yeah, I like to be in the dark. I'm the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you do.
No, I'm the night. I'm the Nightwing.
That's it. I'm gone.
Yeah.
You're all very
I'm
welcome. I'm glad that you, stayed, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know Chester did. He loved the film and everything. So that, you know, I can always count on Chester. I can count on all of you. Hopefully that you all, watch this. I mean, because the payoff was all that blubber and blood flying through the air. And they call that a comedy, Well, hey, to me that's the best kind of comedy movie when blood and whale blubber's flying through the air and everything. See you later, Dirk, and thanks for stopping by. Looking forward to this Sunday on Subjective Perspective Collective with their special guest. That's going to be good stuff, and everybody needs to be there because it's going to be fun, and nobody's going to be bogged down by any kind of, oh my God, I don't know what else I'm going to do for the rest of my life kind of thing. Well, I appreciate it, Dirk. It's always great hanging out with you and Darren and stuff. We'll get a random stream going. We just need to connect on that, and we'll do that and everything. Brooke made you number 1. Well, hey, that works. You gotta at least, keep the van in shape. But watch those kids. You got to be careful about that. I don't want you, just kidnapping kids for no reason. the black instead of the black phone, it's the black van.
There, you happy? Damn it!
There we go. Well, I mean, come on, you're part of the team here. You can't be in the dark all the time. I mean, unless that's your actual dark room and you're developing photos, or something.
It's 1 hour photo.
Yeah.
Yep, I develop them for 1 hour.
Never trust a fart or a hippie for that sake, too. Yeah, 1 hour photo. That's a good flick. But as always, you guys are always appreciated, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. It's kind of well, you know how I am. I'd say a lot of certain things, but I get tired of talking about it, and it doesn't really matter because we all know the truth, and it's just like this. Always appreciate a good beef shot like that. 1 hour, hour total. Dorothy, where did that dog go? I don't know. Another one will be here in an hour. It's 1 hour Toto. Actually, 1 hour Toto also sounds like some kind of fucked up kung fu movie. Oh, yes, Mr. Wong. Look, honey gets you. Well, you better watch out because Mr. Chang will cut off your head. No, he won't because it'll be time for a 1 hour Toto. Well, I figured you probably did mean the band, but you were just holding the line. Oh, down in Africa too, right? Shh, Rosie. See what you made me do, Rosie? Telling Toto jokes. I hope you did watch that yacht rock thing, Rosie. See, I told Rosie a long time ago because of her puns and well, both of our wits, we'd be partners in crime coming up with like the most ridiculous stuff all the time. See, like, okay, so the movie was called Swingin' Safari, but that there's somebody somewhere in some fucked up place going, what's safari? What's safari mean? Is that like a purse company? It's some kind of makeup, safari? I want some. Oh, Yeah, glove isn't always on time. That's right. Hold the twine. Glove isn't always on time. This goddamn spoon with a napkin. There you go. Some kind of sex cult. That's right. Welcome to Shangri-La. That sounds like some kind of weird grilled cheese. Shangri-La. That's a new recipe or some shit.
Ready or not, fuck you too. Oh man. See what happens. See what happens. Some, you know. Soft driven, slow, and mad like some new language. Exactly. That's correct. It's like kids these days that go to school and they can't spell, you know. Are they, you know, abbreviate everything and so it looks like some kind of fucked up form of Hebrew or some shit. It's like, the fuck are you even talking about, kid? I don't know. Thank you. I'll be here all night. You can tip the waiter. Just don't tip him over. Juno's got his shirt over his head or something. Or is that his shoulder? What the fuck? Oh yeah, it was his shoulder. I thought you had pulled your shirt over your head.
No.
It's the new fondue, kids. One thing I'm proud about Juno the most is that, you know, he's a really cool guy and he doesn't listen to Nickelback records backwards. So.
I think they're overrated.
But yeah, I guess, you know, I'm glad everyone was here tonight. I have no clue, as always, what the fuck I'm gonna do, you know, next week, but I'll figure it out. Oh, I know I still owe Rosie though a movie that she wants to see. I got to double make sure that it's still around and whatnot. And then Z had mentioned something, but I forgot. You guys got to remind me, man, of this stuff because, you know. Oh shit, we ain't watching Mac and Me. Oof. Yeah, new math. Yeah, it's as opposed to the old math. But see, when we were kids, Dirk, that's what they said was new math. But now it must be newer math or some shit. I don't know. Well, kids don't even do math these days anymore. I don't even think. Shit, they don't even fucking write. Don't even learn cursive.
Because the little dipshits don't want to learn.
Do you know how to write cursive, Juno?
A little bit, not fully, but I could do a little bit, like with my knees.
You're out of here. You're out of here. You're gone, dude. Fuck that. You were all learning by computer and shit. Like fuck that, man.
You know? I wasn't learning by computer.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
I ain't like this little dipshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take that back.
Like,
I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
Because these little dipshits that I've been seeing in school, they're just on their fucking phones.
Yeah, exactly.
Texting with their dumbass TikTok friends.
Well, but also instead of like raising their hands when the teacher goes to call them, they just fucking text the bitch. I have the answer, you know. So it's like, okay. Jesus Christ. See what you guys did? You got me all on a roll about a whole bunch of different stuff. Oh, Dirk, if you're still here, I bought this, like, you probably saw that I did this Jack the Ripper and stuff, but like, hold on a second here. Let me, but like, see, it's got this little embossed like knife and shit. See, see, it finally had like spurting blood and shit, you know, and that'd be cool. But you know, fucking parlor trick. Write them lines on the chalkboard. Yeah, yeah, it's true. Oh man. I think what they should do in school these days, because of all this crap, is they should give everybody paper bags and make them wear them, you know, like the Unknown Comic, so nobody knows exactly who's who, and everybody could switch seats every 5 minutes, and the teacher would still try to distinguish who they were.
I mean, when I was in high school, we'd go off campus for lunch and we'd go to this one Chinese restaurant, and we'd walk in there and the woman would say, how many? And we'd say 5. She goes, table for 5, and we go, no, 5,000. We like to switch seats every 5 minutes. Oh, those were the days, Cock, chalk, Feruza ball. You'd smoke weed under the bleachers. Yeah, there were a few times when we would, we meaning like my friends, they would do like their own thing. I was pretty much straight edge, but we would like spray paint things on the school, but nobody didn't hear that. I didn't just say that, I just thought of like one of the like most fucking ridiculous things. But like when I was in junior high, sometimes like going home, you'd be on a bus and another one of the buses is going the same way, and you'd be stopped at a traffic light, and everybody would be spitting at each other across the fucking, out the window at each other. And so I don't know what it was that day, but I just had it in me. I was like, okay, and you got to remember, I'm fucking 12, 13 fucking years old, So I was just saving my spit from the entire fucking time we left the school till we fucking buses got right next to each other. And I was just one like fucking second from, just nailing some poor bastard. I mean, I did nail the back window, and the guy was lucky. It was just totally like covered in fucking spit, but it was just by 1 fucking inch. I would have just, this guy would have had hepatitis. I'm kidding about that, but damn, man, it was fucked up, and you guys didn't hear that one either, because that was terrible, and I do not condone such behavior, and I will not never admit that I did such. I mean, what? Well, that's kind of a loaded question. Should I actually talk about her, because I don't want somebody, to say that, oh, I talk about her too much, or I say, I mean, because people seem, but people that don't even know her seem to like really dislike me and dislike her because of my association, with her and stuff. That's a loaded well, not from you, Chester, of course. I mean, I know you're asking in all sincerity, but I don't know, if I should say anything because, I don't want, some, violin to hear violins playing and, whatever. And I don't even know whoever the one fuck that did say that you don't have to worry about him mentioning her again. I didn't even know who the name was. I have a sneaking suspicion that I know, that I know who it was. I think we all know who it was, because see, I don't think I didn't even want to go there, but he threw an asshole midget in a trash can for throwing food at me. Oh, dear God! When I was in high school, I'll say this real quick and then I'll go back. But there was this every year the seniors used to have a food fight, and it was nuts. I mean, most of the time I didn't have, like, we had two different lunches, so most of the time I'd be at the other lunch and miss the lunch, but I'd see the aftermath. And I remember, I think I was a sophomore, and there were barbecue sandwiches stuck to the ceiling. There were fucking ninja stars in the ceiling, chairs all over the place. I mean, it was absolutely fucking nuts. So the next year, when I was a junior, the seniors all got, there were like strict orders. If this shit happens, people are going to be expelled and all this other kind of bullshit. So they didn't do anything. And then when I was a senior, all hell fucking broke loose. I admit to nothing because there were a lot of seniors that they planned this shit out. People I did not associate with. They dressed in camouflage, jumpsuits or whatever, fatigues. And the weird thing was, as I'm going to lunch, I noticed there's a whole bunch of them at the table I usually sit at. Because I sat at one end, it was maybe 10 dozen tables. The far opposite end were the other group. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I just decided, okay, fuck it. My mistake was going to buy my lunch. And I go and I buy my lunch and I'm sitting down, starting to eat it. And I remember I bought a bowl of chili that day because the school actually made pretty decent chili, but it was probably from, some dead kids that they murdered a few years before. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, I'm sitting there. So this friend of mine, Joel, comes up behind me, bam, hits me in the back of the head with a fucking confetti egg. Confetti is all in my chili. I can't eat it now. And I'm like, seriously, dude? I just bought this shit, And he's like, oh, whoops. He goes, scurries on his way. So I just pick my fucking tray up and I throw it at the wall. Bam! Next thing I know, I see smoke coming out from both of those tables that I previously mentioned. And then all of a sudden, on both ends, they all stand up. They just start throwing shit. I got the hell out of there, walked up on top of this balcony because we had a theater to the side of the cafeteria. So I walk up on the balcony and I just watch all this like shit unfold. This one coach goes nuts, grabs this kid, throws him against the wall in the Coke machine. One chick got hit with something, I don't know, but she's holding her eye like this, stumbling around. We had 4 different principals for each grade. The freshman principal, she slipped on something and fucking broke her leg. And this was just like a couple of weeks before graduation. I saw all this shit happen. I mean, man, if I would have had a video camera, this shit would be in posterity. It was absolute fucking mayhem. Just the best. Anyway. Back to your question, Chester. Well, she's doing okay, taking care of her mom pretty much 24/7, and taking care of the kid, whatever. But that's all I'm gonna elaborate on at this point. But yeah, that was that's about it. As far as she goes. But I mean, things are coming around with her though. She's been getting in touch with me, at least once to twice a week. So that's the hard part. But other than that, she's all good, and I appreciate you asking stuff like that. But Dirk, you would have fit right in there with all that mayhem going on. Only thing I wish I would have had was a bazooka, and that would have been, that would have clinched that day. But they really didn't do anything to anybody, as far as I know, because they couldn't prove shit about who did what and what was, going on. But it was just nice to have a front row, balcony seat to everything. Long live cafeteria chaos. But yeah, on that note, I guess Juno and I will hit the road and and stuff, and we appreciate all you guys coming in, Rosie and Brooke and Ashton and Zodiac and Chester, of course, and of course you, Dirk, and even Jimbo Jack and Alan and Shamarlos, and Nikki came in tonight, and that was fun, and Corey and Gizmo and Anthony Chipotle, and I think that runs the gamut, I guess, a bit, and stuff. And of course Juno, for hanging out with me tonight, and everything, and So yeah, so we'll see. We'll find out next week if I have a kidney stone. Yay! I think and when I say that, I can tell that there's like a violin going off and somebody rubbing their hands and hoping for my demise, and stuff. But still here. Oh, and 71. I can't forget 71, of course. But thanks again for coming out and enjoying Swinging Safari with us. And it was a blast as always. All right, Dirk. He's gonna make out like a baby and head out. Tell Tasha and Grayson, I said what's happening and whatnot. And, I'll see you on Sunday, and in between, and anything that's going on, just message me, and we'll plan some things, because we got a lot of things in our cuffs, but nothing up our sleeves. So, as always, like Kenny Omega says, as for Z, what bid you adieu and good night, and all that good and funny stuff. All right, y'all. Have a good night, and we will see you soon.
There comes a time in every man's life. Bucko, just take him. You know to put him on, right? So I'm going to take you to the bathroom. I can show you.
What the hell happened in the 1970s? Let's go back and meet three rudderless families. The Joneses were the big kahunas on the block.
Somebody's going to get hurt, and it's not going to be me.
The Hall House was a disaster movie in the making.
Welcome to the club, men. It's the way.
My family was stuck right in the middle of the cul-de-sac.
Dad!
Oh, g'day, Mr. Marsh.
I was armed with a Super 8 camera.
What you got there, love? Look at that.
No cameras tonight?
I captured everything
Oh, I think I'm gonna hurt.
in the hope I could edit together
The next game is called Swinging Safari.
Oh, I'm in.
what was going through our poor, misguided heads.
Why were they doing that to each other?
I don't know. We just go to school like normal.
Surprise!
The pill, sweetheart. Your father and I think it's time.
And what are we playing? Poker. Everybody else has.
Bush pig.
Shut up, hussy.
Alcoholic. Bottle blonde.
Cock tease.
Our parents did the best they could with the bent tools they were handed.
Looks like you might have found yourself a plot, Tiger.
You're all going to Catholic boarding schools. The priests will have their way with you.